Hello, in this video we'll see how to play with the DuoSkin mode and functionalities of Akeytsu. So let's take out the Akeyboy model and make a few things on it. So first of all, we will focus on 3 buttons. So this one to switch from the first step to the second step, which is also the final step of our DuoSkin mode. This one to update what we've done from the first step to the second step, and the picker list to change how much we want to automatically smooth intersections from one joint to another. Okay, so we can set it to off, high or low, and this works for each joint independently from each other. So in this case, let's go in the first step by clicking here. So we can see that weights are purely hard. So let's say I want to adjust this part and maybe paint like this, okay? Because I feel it's better, and I want to have this weight, or maybe something more visible. So activate the full paint mode and paint roughly like this. Hop. Okay, so if I turn my arm, it will bring these vertices with it. That's just for the example, okay? So let's turn the arm a little bit so we can see what the DuoSkin does. So I need to select just the joint who shared this update, okay? And from there, I will click on the update button. So before this, if you want to see how it evolves, click on the DuoSkin mode so you can see, okay, the first step looked like this, and the second step looked just like before. And what if I want to update this? I will just use the second button I've talked earlier, which turns red if it detects some differences between the first mode and the second mode. So let's click on this, wait a few seconds, and we should see, okay. So now we have a deformations that corresponds to what we had in the first step. To make a good use of this, the goal is not, of course, to make some really strange attributions, okay? The goal is more to make good islands, like so, for example, and do the same for the wall mesh, but instead of worrying of how transition will behave, you will just have to worry about which joint controls which vertex, and you will only have one joint per vertex. So no smooth, no fancy stuff like this, only hard weights. So do your wall model like this and define clearly which joint controls which vertex, or if you prefer, which vertex follow which joint. And once you're okay with this, once you've defined all your islands, which should take less time than setting your islands with smooth, so once that's done, you can proceed the second step, sorry, of the skinning, and you will have your really final skinning, okay? And then in this step, sometimes you can have maybe some mistakes like this. You can now use the add remove brush with the right click to remove influences you don't want over your mesh. But this is a really easy way to proceed your skinning. And then from this point, you can start with more serious stuff over your skinning, but you have clearly defined islands. And that's a really important point when you skin your mesh. So that's it for this little tutorial. I hope you learned a few things, and don't hesitate to drop a comment if you didn't understand a few things about this part of Akeytsu, which is quite complex. I understand. So, and I or the Nukegura team will take the time to answer them. So happy skinning in Akeytsu, and see you next time. Bye bye.